Hello, in this video I'm going to go over a little bit more about the Jubilee event, a couple of things that I failed to mention in my first video. If you didn't see that video, I will link the video in the description. I think what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to link all of my playlists on my channel. That way if I cover anything at all then that uh, I talk about in the video, that I can kind of just link all of my playlists and you guys can check out and see what I have on my channel in terms of playlists. That way, every playlist is available there. So just to cover them all, I have the general Elder Scrolls Online Guides playlist, my Elder Scrolls Online Songs, my Elder Scrolls Online Companion Guides. Then I also have my Elder Scrolls Online DPS folder. Another one is my Elder Scrolls Online add-ons overviews. Then I have another one that's all about farming. And then there's another playlist for crafting, another playlist for Elder Scrolls Online sets, another playlist for support DPS. Then I have a Trials team composition playlist, a tanking playlist, a healer playlist, a playlist that has how to set up uh, beginners stuff. Then I also have a PvP playlist. So those are all my playlists that I have listed on my channel that are for current content anyway. There's some older stuff that I'm not going to link in there because it's not applicable anymore. But let's just get into the video. So I'm going to cover a couple of things that I didn't mention in the first video. First off, Tamriel Tomes. If you want to reset your challenges, you have to go on here when they're still available, and you hold the square button to get your challenge rerolls. And this resets on every Tuesday. The season one uh, is season long, so these are not resettable, or I should say rerollable. So as you can see, 94 days and 12 hours for the season. And then the weekly ones reset on Tuesday. So if you get something here in an activity that you don't like, uh, you can re-roll up to 5 times per week. And you can see just above the bar where it says claimed, that's how many times you can do the challenge and earn that amount of Tamriel points. And then something that I didn't notice until after I finished the video is I have open crates here. This is where the premium caches are. So if you're wanting to advance your rail here and you've already done all your challenges, you can open crate caches if you have them. I believe this probably comes from ESO Plus, so pay attention to that. And then it will tell you how many more points you need to advance whichever page you're on. And then the tome points that you've earned total is how they track that. And then you can choose to buy or not buy certain things. For example, um, I didn't buy the 100% experience script here because I already have quite a few of those. I wanted to save my points. Also, tripods, I can just make those at an alchemy table. Uh, Woodworking materials, it contains 8 rosin, 4 mastics, 3 terpenes, and 2 pitch. I don't really need that stuff, so I didn't buy it. So I'm saving my points for something else down the road here. It goes all the way down to page 10, and then there are 2 bonus pages here at the very end that you can unlock those and get these bonus pages here. And then up here is in the premium table, so keep that in mind. And then if you want to upgrade to premium, then you can spend some of your premium tokens if you have them. I, for example, only have 9 premium tokens. And so I would need 12 if I wanted to upgrade to premium here. So I believe this also comes from ESO Plus. So perhaps the next event I'll have enough to upgrade to premium if I want. And then the premium plus, you gain all the premium rewards, and then you get 2 caches of tomes and a unique cosmetic if you go to the Premium Plus. So this is the only thing you'd have to pay for. So that's up to you whether or not you want to do that. So we're not going to get a new sampling of Tamriel Tomes until this season is over, and that's in 94 days. This season ends on July 8th. So that's how long you have to work on all of these pages here. If you use the L and R button, that's basically how long you have to get that all finished. So one more thing I'm going to bring up. Oh, here's something I can just sprinkle into the video as something I've learned recently. If you want to look at the tutorial for damaging status effects and whatnot, you can go to your character screen like this, go down to where it says, maybe it's in the inventory, I'm sorry. Go into your inventory, go to where your Mundus is, and you can see at the very bottom it says view more info. If you hit X, it will take you right here to this menu, which is in the combat menu. And this is where I usually use this screen to look at status effects, damaging, and all of that. And you can just jump to that really quickly without having to go through the standard coming down here to help, and then going to tutorial, and then going to combat, and then getting to this screen. If you just go, there's a shortcut to that screen. If you go to inventory, go to your Mundus, and then hit X, it will take you right to that same screen. So that's a quick little sprinkle in I'll talk about. But that was the reason I'm talking about that area is if you go into the help, the tutorials, and then go to the events tab here, and then come down to Jubilee, this will give you the general overview of what is going on with this event. So quick reminder, something I didn't talk about in the first video. Every day when you log in and you're doing stuff, you want to make sure that you eat your cake, and you want to eat the 2026 cake to get your trade bars. I've already done it today, so that's why I didn't receive them there. But that's something you want to remember to do, and that will give you trade bars, which is what you can spend in your the Gold Coast Bazaar here, which is got some new items added recently. There's some paintings and statuettes, so keep an eye on this very frequently. They add stuff pretty common or pretty often, so keep that in mind. There's statuettes and paintings in there now. Not sure when that resets, but I know that's a recent update. But to get back into one more thing I'm going to talk about in this video, go to help, tutorials, and the events, and go back to this Jubilee tab. If you scroll down, this is the general what's going on with the event, how you get boxes here, and then it tells you how to get your gold box, and after that you get the purple ones. Then it talks about the rare style pages. If any of you were playing the game, I believe it was 2 years ago where they launched this. It was the slog of an event where everybody was running around Vardenfell and geysers and all of that, collecting those style pages that had an abysmal drop rate that everybody was trying to get. And then the following year, they made them available for tickets, which was a nice touch for the developers. But this year, they have added another style page here, and this is the very bottom one here. It is the Replica Nokvroz, however you say that, Nokvroz Greatsword style. It can be found as a very low chance drop from a chest in the Atoll of Immolation incursions. In Blackwood or Deadlands, it can be rarely found by defeating the Havocrel executioners. The chance of obtaining this reward is greatly increased if you have the Deadlands Portal Devastator achievement, and the chance increases even more if you have the Hero of Fargrave achievement. So if you don't know what any of that stuff is, I'm going to go over that as well really quickly. So the achievements, how you verify that, you go to Journal, then you go to Achievements, and then you want to find where it says Deadlands, because that's the DLC we're talking about. And then you want to look for the Hero of Fargrave achievement. If you have this achievement completed, that will increase your drop rate. but then the other one is the Deadlands Portal Devastator. That means you have to clear 30 Oblivion portals. So, for example, if you don't have this and you want to try and get that style page, you can go into the portals over and over and over again and get this ticked off. And eventually, if you don't get the drop, then you'll get your drop rate increased by doing this. The Hero of Fargrave, you have to do the Deadlands Master Explorer, Against All Hope, Defenders of Deadlands, and Deadlands Grand Adventurer. So those are the achievements that are listed down here that you need to find and locate. So make sure you find the Hero of Fargrave, and then all of those achievements right there is what you need to look at for completing or getting the higher drop rate for this style page. So how do you find the Oblivion portals? I'm going to make it really easy for you. Okay, so what you're going to do, I'll just travel to the Deadlands real quickly here so I can show you. There's an add-on that we have available to us now that is called Map Pins. I'll show this to you in just a second when I get to the Deadlands. You can get to the portal from the Blackwood as well, but I would just reference and bring up that if you don't have the Deadlands portal Devastator, then you're gonna want to work on the portals from Deadlands before you move on to Blackwood, because this is the one that's going to increase your drop rate on the style page. So make sure you get this one done before you move on to something else. So the add-on that I'm talking about, you go in here, and I've done a video on this. I will again, so check out my linked playlist for my add-on overviews. I have a video on this add-on. It is called Map Pins, and one of the things that this add-on puts on your map are Deadlands Oblivion portals. See how far down it is. There it is right there. Oblivion portals. It's listed right there under the Blackwood, but it's part of the Deadlands as well, because Deadlands was a DLC with Blackwood. So how you find them, once you have the add-on installed, then you just look for them on the map, and they look like incursions on the map, or dolmens. The same symbol that dolmens are. These are chance spots for Oblivion portals. So now you don't have to endlessly run around looking for portals anymore in the Deadlands or Blackwood. You can just mark this location, run over here, run to your marker, and just eyeball it. Is there a portal here? Yes, there is, right there. And then you would go inside this portal, and then let's just do that. So in case anybody's not gone in here, I can show you what it's like. You're going to have to kill these ads really quickly. And then when you do that, you can go into the Atoll of Immolation. And what these are, this is like the public dungeon version for the Deadlands. So there are several bosses in here. And basically, you just have to advance to the very final boss. You just keep going through the enemies here and through the portals. And just run through here really quickly. It doesn't take very long to get through this usually. But you just want to run through here, kill everything. This is a lot easier when you have a group of people. And the other thing about this is you don't have to stop and kill everything. This doesn't really matter if you kill everything or not. You can pretty much just run up and get everything clustered up. This is another technique I've shown in previous video for when I was talking about running solo content and how to get everything stacked up. You can kind of run ahead and then get everything balled up into your AoEs and kill stuff that way. And so that is a good way of doing that. Apparently these are aggroed. This might take a little bit. But essentially you want to just keep running through here. And you'll eventually get to the end and you'll be able to fight the Duke. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I've done this. And you can keep running, and basically what you want to do is just kill the stuff once they chase you. If you get them further enough away, you can get them to leash back to their original location. And for anybody that doesn't want to watch all this, I am going to put chapters in this video, as I always do, so that you can jump ahead or you can bail out if you don't want to watch all this. But you can just clear all these ads out, and eventually when you get to the back end of, when you're at the end is you get to the end of this run here and there's a big Titan, then you're reaching the end of the outside portion of this. Okay, this is where the Titan drops down here. Okay, so you just want to keep going through this tunnel. Try and speed this up now that we're got through that part. Once you're into this little corridor here, now you can just run all the way to the end. And this is a public dungeon, so there should be other players in here if they are farming this. There's probably a ton of them in here. There's usually a lot of ads in this part. And so basically when you get here, yep, and look at all the people farming. So this is where you're going to want to farm, and there it is, the Havocrel Duke of Storms. This is the guy you need to kill here. When you kill him, don't leave. There's a chest that pops right here, and this will probably be where it drops from. So keep an eye out on that. If you don't have the Deadlands portal achievement done, then you're going to want to exit out of this and go back to the area and then find another portal and reset it so that it reticks getting your achievement done so you can get your higher drop rate for the style page. So keep that in mind. That is going to be it for this video. If you liked this video and thought it was helpful, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I have over 270 videos on the Elder Scrolls Online. As I've mentioned, all the playlists at the beginning of the video, check them out. They are in the description. I recommend checking out all of the descriptions on my videos. I put a large amount of information on all of my videos, and I usually have quite a bit in there that is helpful. If I mention something in the video, then I typically put a link or explain it in more detail in the description. So check out my description for all the playlists that I talked about. I will link those in the description so that you can just pop into those and find anything that might interest you. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in another video. Thanks a lot. Bye.